Hello everyone, we have got some very interesting news coming in regarding the Bitcoin ETF, and so we're going to be going over that. I can't believe who is listed as an authorized participant. In other words, they're going to be the ones exchanging cash for the ETF shares. And so before we get into that, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for other content throughout the bull market. As well, while you're down there, make sure to check out the link underneath the video to Margex, where you can go ahead and trade Bitcoin up to 100x leverage. They have about 20 other cryptocurrencies on there as well. And so make sure to definitely check that out. There is no KYC required or a VPN. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the news. We know here that the SEC has announced that all changes to the ETF applications need to be filed by today. And so that is the deadline to determine if their ETF's going to be cash create or in kind. They also have to list their authorized participants. And so a lot of this news is starting to come in as they continue to file the updated S1s. And so we can see the United States Securities and Exchange Commission said last week that the spot Bitcoin ETF applicants must file the final S1 amendments by December 29th, which is today. And then they're also required to sign an agreement with an authorized participant. And so we have not seen any of these listed until just recently, since I think a lot of people don't want to go ahead and announce who they're using until they have to. And so we can see here that all of these different applications that are out there, some of them are in kind, some are cash create. However, we have no authorized participants listed. And so if we go ahead and take a look at some updated S1s here, we can see that the authorized participants are Jane Street Capital and JP Morgan, which is very interesting. So this is on the S1 for the Blackrock ETF. Now, Jamie Dimon has been very against Bitcoin, and so it is very interesting to see JP Morgan listed here as an authorized participant. And so we can see here that Jamie Dimon has been very against Bitcoin. So this was about 3 weeks ago that he mentioned that cryptocurrencies should be banned. The only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, money laundering, and tax avoidance. And so if I was the government, I'd close it down. And so he's talking very badly about crypto. He does not seem like he wants to support it. However, make sure you're watching their actions. And so we can see that they have been talking with BlackRock. Obviously, they are listed as an authorized participant. And so there's definitely some communication going on there. I would not be surprised if JP Morgan has been continuing to buy Bitcoin as well. So we will see where this goes. We will see what other information comes out. Now, you may be wondering what an authorized participant is. Now, this demonstrates here that ETF sponsor here would be BlackRock. The authorized participant would be JP Morgan. And then there would be a stock exchange and then the individual investor. So they are essentially the middleman. They are exchanging cash over here for the ETF shares from the ETF sponsor, whether that is BlackRock or Valkyrie or another ETF. And so we can see here that Valkyrie also has announced their authorized participants as well. They have Jane Street Capital, similar to BlackRock, and then they have also listed Cantor Fitzgerald. And so there's going to be more of these being listed. They can always add more authorized participants as time goes on as well. And so this is very interesting news here. Really a surprise in the Bitcoin space. I did not expect Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan to really be supporting Bitcoin just because of how they have been talking about it over the last couple of years. They've never really changed their mind on Bitcoin. However, there was a very similar stance with Larry Fink and BlackRock about in 2020 and 2019. He was very against it. It was all used for money laundering. However, lately he's been supporting it. He's been very positive about it. Obviously, they have submitted a BlackRock ETF application, and so they have definitely changed the tune. Now, that could happen with Jamie Dimon. However, that is very interesting because he has said that about 3 weeks ago that he's still very against it. And so let's take a look at some on-chain data here. We can see that Bitcoin is continuing to leave exchanges. Now, this is a very bullish indicator, representing that investors want to hold the coins long term since they're taking it off exchanges and maybe storing it on a cold storage wallet, whether it is a ledger or a treasure. And so this is a very bullish indicator. If they're continuing to hold it on exchanges, maybe they're just holding it for a short term. However, as this continues to leave exchanges, this is very bullish for the entire cryptocurrency market. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the Bitcoin chart. Right now, we can see that Bitcoin is really not moving much based on the news of the S1 filings with the authorized participants being listed. Now I am looking for it to bounce off of this support here right around $41,000 and then continue up. Now if we do fall down below that, we can look at the bigger channel here. We do have pretty strong support here leading up, which would fall down to about $38,000. However, there's a lot of catalysts that could be driving this. We have the decision coming up January 10th for the ETF, and so obviously if that's denied, we'll see a much different outcome. And so something to remember here with Bitcoin is there's only 21 million to ever exist. And so if BlackRock's continuing to buy and then they see the ETF approved, we're going to see many other corporations buying Bitcoin as well. We see MicroStrategy continuing to buy Bitcoin. They own about 1% of the total supply. So I would not be surprised to see other corporations coming out and say they have been buying Bitcoin or are now buying Bitcoin. And so we're going to see a lot of people jumping into cryptocurrencies if the ETF is approved. And thanks for watching. Make sure to check out that link underneath the video to Margex to long or short Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I hope to see you in the next video.